Howdy everybody, it's Sam here. How you all going? So round 17 of the 2021 NRL season is upon us. It is State of Origin affected, but that's not going to falter our excitement now, is it? Sorry I had to pause the video on you guys. I've got a specially made up license plate on the back of my car and I don't think I've registered it yet, so I'm just a bit afraid that the police are going to come knocking on the door at any second. Round 17 kicks off from Four Pines Park. Manly Sea Eagles host the Canberra Raiders. Something always seems to happen whenever these two clubs duke it out on the footy field, whether it be spitefulness, golden point, extra time. There's always something happening between the Sea Eagles and the Raiders. And over recent seasons, the Sea Eagles have had the wood over the Canberra Raiders. The Raiders' last victory over Manly came in 2018, whereas the last time the Raiders did beat the Sea Eagles at Brookvale Oval was way back in 2016. Both of these clubs are Origin affected. Tom Turbo and DCE for Manly, Jack Whiten and Josh Papali'i for the Canberra Raiders. This is arguably the match that pits the most informed team of the competition against the most out of form team in the NRL. There is a massive spotlight for me that is going onto Kieran Foran on Thursday night. He is a leader and he needs to dominate this match in order for Manly to win. I like the look of Manly's backline. Even though teams have not been announced yet, Dylan Walker, I imagine, would get the #1 jersey. And a shout out to Brad Parker, who I think has had a workman-like season in 2021, probably his best season to date, really, and he's been rewarded with a contract extension too. And a cheeky little note as well that even though Jake Trbojevic wasn't selected in the blue squad because of an injury, he is actually ready to rock and roll, just going off the NRL injuries list on NRL.com. So he could be selected to play for Manly this Thursday night. But in any event, I will be tipping Manly Sea Eagles to win by 13 plus. There's only one game on Friday night, and that's live from Stadium Australia. South Sydney host North Queensland. Let me tell you, if there is one club that I can point to that has ended North Queensland's finals hopes over the past 3 years, it's South Sydney. Cowboys have not beaten the Bunnies since 2017, and every time we seem to come up against them, it turns out to be a thriller. And last year they pipped us by 1 point by the boot of Adam Reynolds. The year before that, they are our Grim Reaper. As so far as team lists go, they haven't been announced yet, but my gut feeling is Alex Johnston will be moved to fullback, halves stay the same, and we're going to see a couple of new forwards come into the foray. Cameron Murray, Latrell Mitchell, Dane Gagai, Jai Arrow, and a handful of other superstars for South Sydney won't be taking the paddock this Friday night when they host North Queensland. As so far as the Cowboys go, they will be without Molo, Valentine Holmes, and the Hammer, who's making his State of Origin debut next week. Where that venue will be is yet to be determined and probably won't be determined until about Friday arvo. The question on South Sydney all year has been their defence and what it will do and what it will look like come September. They came out of the blocks really well last Sunday against Wests, and they allowed Wests to put 22 points on top of them. They weren't merciless enough. They took them way too easily, and maybe it had something to do with zero atmosphere on Sunday. But you've got to be better than that if you want to win championships, and North Queensland need to be a whole lot better in their defence too, don't they? Where the Cowboys are going to win this game is going to come down to Scott Drinkwater and Tom Dearden. They need to match the skill. They need to match the intensity that Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds are going to bring. I got no problem with what they're going to do in the forward pack and our back line as well. So I imagine Drinkwater will be our fullback. We're going to have Kyle Felt, who unfortunately got dropped for the Maroons. And you're going to have Murray Tuolangi remain on the wing. Our centre pairing, David Bowen on one side, and by the looks of things, Connolly Lemuelu is recovered from his thumb injury, so he'll be our other centre, and Tom Dearden will be our halfback, and I would like to think that Dejan Arce has a shot at 5'8", and then our forward pack, Robson, Hess, McLean, Dunn, Wright, Lolo, and then on the bench, Granville, Lukey, and then a couple of other players as well that will be yet to be determined later on throughout the day. I would have liked to have seen Tom Gilbert on the bench, but unfortunately he, like Todd Payton, are in quarantine. He just would have been that lovely bit of mongrel he would have brought for us on Friday night. And in news that just broke, Todd Payton and a forward named Griffin Niame has been allowed to join the Cowboys squad. So Todd Payton will be hands-on for the rest of the week. And as I said before, Tom Gilbert would have been good, and he went into isolation at around about the same time as Todd Payton did. So hopefully some good news comes in tomorrow, or maybe the day after, that Tom Gilbert can take his place in the 17 for this Friday night. I think Cowboys can win this game and win by 1 point, 1-12. North Queensland 1-12. Super Saturday only has one contest this weekend. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs host the Sydney Roosters from Bankwest Stadium. Roosters by 13 plus. And the final game of round 17 is live from Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, where the Sharks host the Warriors. Cronulla have had the absolute wood over the Warriors since 2015. They have won 7 of the past 9 matches between these two clubs. The Warriors' last win coming against the Sharks was back in 2019. Cronulla and the Warriors are going to be both down on confidence this weekend. I don't expect a high quality game of footy, but it still should be a desperate game of footy as well. For the Warriors, the most interesting news maybe of the entire weekend as far as team selection goes is Matt Lodge is making his debut for the Warriors. And since his awful moments a few years ago over in the United States, the question has been on him to see how he can rectify things and change his image. And me personally, he's well on track and has been well on track. He's been a stalwart. Maybe that's too strong of a word. It hasn't diminished the smudge that's on him. But in the Warriors, they've been a selfless club, in particularly over the past couple of years. And he's joined them now. He's got to earn the respect and trust of that team as well. I hope, fingers crossed, that he can flourish. As far as other team selection news for the Warriors goes, so Chad Townsend, unfortunately, is gone for the next couple of weeks. Reece Walsh is a chance of returning this Sunday, but he's still a youngin', and if he's only 70, 80% fit, I probably wouldn't rush him back. Just leave him be and let him heal up, and then he'll be 100% for next weekend. And as far as the halves go, I imagine Cody Nikorima and Sean O'Sullivan are going to partner each other again. For the Cronulla Sharks, I thought that was the match of the round last week between the Broncos and Sharks. Tremendous game of footy and probably the best game in a couple of weeks too. But someone didn't give Matt Moylan his glass of milk in the morning, and they did it the hard way against the Broncos and came up short. And my question on Cronulla, in my opinion, is their second half fade outs. They're coming out strong and they're staying in the fight, but their second halves, they fade, and their completion rates compared to their first halves in the second half on Sunday was pretty bad, man. So They need to work on their second halves. In my opinion, that's Cronulla's issue. A wrap on Connor Tracy as well. Every time I see Connor Tracy play, he is getting better and better. And I'm no expert, obviously. If he can either trim down a little more, or if he can add more muscle uh, over the off season, over the next few months or so, Connor Tracy will be such a weapon if he isn't already, and he can be the face of Cronulla in the next couple of years. So I think they'll have a try or two too many on the Warriors, because the Warriors' game management began to shine in the spotlight even more so when they lost that 1 point game to the Cowboys a month or so ago. And then against Newcastle last week, I don't know how they lost that game. I don't think anyone knows how they lost that game last weekend. That was theirs for 60, 65 minutes, and bloody hell. So my tip is Cronulla 1 to 12. I really want to pull this lever on two clubs, but I just can't do it yet because the competition is that close. So I'm just going to leave the lever alone for this weekend. Once more, thank you so much for all the continuous and brand new support over the past few weeks. Please go and check out Nick from Australia's channel if you haven't already. I sat down with him and NRL Vid 090, Paddy G, Champa Videos on Saturday night. Tremendous discussion, great fun. And yeah, go give him a subscription, and go give all those other blokes a check out and even a subscription as well. I'll be back with another full-blown video next Tuesday, probably when the team lists have been announced this time round. And once again, have a very nice weekend. And as always, come on Cowboys. Bugger it.